Hey guys, it's Aaron again. Sorry for the long wait. I've got another deck profile for you today, and it's of what I like to call my Twisted Sister Circus. Obviously, that alludes to Pale Moon, the circus theme clan. Just a little update. The deck that I showed you, which was my Tempest Bolt Gauntlet Buster Eradicators, I believe. I entered a tournament at Bexley Heath, which was ran by UKTCGS and sort of like managed by the Vanguardian podcast, mainly Faz, as it was named a Faztastic tournament. I came fourth in that tournament. Basically, my only losses were to Kevin Lang, which in Swiss I only lost to him. He was running Silver Thorns, and then I faced him again in top four. So I lost against him again, but I'm kind of happy considering my only losses were to Kevin. And yeah, his Silver Thorns. So I came fourth overall with my Eradicators. Very pleased with the build. Probably not much I would change in it. But yeah, here's my Silver Thorn deck. And obviously just showing off my new minivan playing mat, which is just amazing considering I've probably got all of the minivan merchandise now. It's probably bar one or two bits. But yeah, let's start off. The starter of choice is Silverthorn Beast Tamer Emil or Emily, however you pronounce it. She has the Forerunner skill, like most grade zeros, and she has the Act ability. So it's sort of like if you Yu-Gi-Oh player, it's like an ignition effect. The cost is to put her in Soul. So you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you can search for up to 1 grade 3, grade 2 and grade 1 with Silverthorn in its card name, and then put them all into the Soul, and then put the rest back into the deck and shuffle. So she's pretty abusable. She practically allows you to thin your deck of all normal units, raising your probability of getting all the triggers. Because obviously she doesn't actually allow you to place the grade 0 Silverthorns into Soul. So she's a very, very good starter and very abusable with things like the upcoming cards like Zelma and even Venus Luquier and the other Luquier herself. So yeah, very good card indeed. The trigger lineup, which I think is pretty much standard for like all decks these days at the moment. For the Silverthorn crit, which is Silverthorn Barking Dragon. And then, because of the artwork, 4 of the other crit trigger that I like to run is Dynamite Juggler, because he's a cheeky little goblin. So that's 8 crit. Then the draw trigger, so 4 draw. And that is the Silverthorn Marionette Natasha. Very good artwork as well. And last but not least, the heal trigger, the Silverthorn one, which is Silverthorn Juggler Nadia. So that's the grade zeros, because they're all vanilla triggers. There's not really any effects that I can talk to you about on them. Now on for the grade ones. The Silverthorn Perfect Guard, and my personal favourite card of the Silverthorns. And no, not because of her dirty flavour text. It's Silverthorn Hypnos Lydia. She's the Perfect Guard of the Silverthorns, or the new Perfect Guard for Pale Moon, if you just want to update the Perfect Guard. Yeah, very good card indeed. So I run 4 of that. Next up is probably the most busted card ever. It's an updated form of Purple Trapezist. So I run 4 of Silverthorn Assistant Zelma. So if you may or may not know, I'll just say it again for the purposes of new people. Welcome to the channel. Purple Trapezist was debuted in set 7. Only had 1 print, so I don't know why I said that, but she did actually get a promo reprint. So basically, Purple Trapezist allows you to select another of your Pale Moon rear guards, put it into Soul, and then call another one out. And she was only 6k, but whereas this, Zelma, she's 7k, and sort of like sub-clan specific in a way. So her a cost. It's an auto skill, so when she's placed onto the rearguard circle, you can choose another of your rearguards with Silver Thorn in its card name, put it into Soul, and if you have a Pale Moon Vanguard, pay the cost obviously. If you do, choose a card with Silver Thorn in its card name other than Zelma itself from Soul and call it to rearguard. So, like I said with Emil, you can basically call Emil back out, put her back in, fill the deck of all the normal units, and then it raises your probability of getting triggers and your drive checks. So it's a very toolboxy kind of very good deck thinning. So it can help speed up triggers, make your opponent guard more. And at 7k, it's more acceptable, whereas Purple Trapeze is only 6k, so she's tend to be used for more generic Pale Moon builds. Next up is another very good card that you can abuse with Trapezist. What else? Zelma. Basically anything that can call out from Soul. Just repeated. Sometimes you only need one copy, certain things. And this card is Silver Thorn Assistant Irina. Irina is kind of like Skull Juggler in a way back in the day, but it's kind of more technical in that it kind of gives you a choice of what you want to soul charge off the top of the deck. So when she's placed onto the Vanguard or Rearguard, so it works anywhere. If you have a Vanguard with Silver Thorn in its name, obviously if you're playing her on Vanguard, she does have Silver Thorn in the name. You can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, search for up to 1 card with Silver Thorn in its name, and put it into Soul, and put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. So basically with cards like Zelma, or Venus, or Lucia, or any other card that can call something from Soul, you can keep, like I said, kind of like abuse her along with like Emil or Emily, thinning the deck again, so raising the probability of triggers. So this is why Silver Thorns are kind of like Pale Moon are getting a little bit more dangerous, because they're thinning the deck of what they want, and it's kind of like a more technical Dark Irregular. Because Dark Irregular just soul charge for the sake of soul charging, whereas this one allows you more choice, it allows you more control over what gets put into the soul, and ultimately what you can call out the soul. So I'll run 3 of her. Last but not least, the grade 1s. This is kind of like the Midnight Bunny, except she doesn't go into soul. And this is I'll run 3 of her, and it's the Silver Thorn Beast Tamer Anna. Just holding her up to the camera so you can see. So when an attack hits a Vanguard, during the battle she boosted a Pale Moon, you may pay the cost, which is just the cost of counterblasting 1. If you do, choose up to 1 card from your soul with Silver Thorn in its card name, call it to rearguard, and at the end of the turn, put that unit back into soul. So, if an attack hits that she's boosted, you can call out stuff like Zelma or Emil. Actually, probably not Emil. Probably a bad choice. So Zelma. Yeah, pretty much Zelma, Irina. So you can kind of like abuse their skills. Thinning the deck yet again. Or Zelma just to create other columns from absolutely nowhere. Yeah, and 7k, which most Silver Thorn units are at grade 1, bar Lydia. Next up are the grade 2s, and I run 4 of the 12k attacker, and that is Silver Thorn Rising Dragon. Basically, if this guy's on rearguard and you've got a Vanguard with Silver Thorn in its name, he gains 3k when he attacks, so he becomes 12,000. So it's not bad, pretty cool artwork too. Next up, probably another broken card. It's basically got like normal Lucia skill, and this I run 4 of because it's quite easy to build up and stack his ability, and that's Silver Thorn Upright Lion. Now at first you may think, oh, it's 9k and it only gains 3k per card called from Soul, but with all the abilities and like Venus Lucia calling up units up to the grade total of 6, it's pretty easy to even call out 4, maybe even 5 units at once. So even if you call 2 of these, it will still count all the others except itself. So it will gain like 12,000 just from itself if you call more than 2 of these. So each of them will gain 12,000. So that's 21k just before any trigger boosts or any other swapping abilities like Zelma coming into play, or etc, etc. So it's pretty easy to build up and kind of overwhelm the opponent because it kind of hits for numbers as well. And last but not least, the grade 2 version of Anna, except on attacking and hitting, and that's Silver Thorn Beast Tamer Marichicha. Her ability is when the attack hits, when this unit attack hits a vanguard, if you have a Pale Moon Vanguard, you counterblast 1. If you do, choose for up to 1 card from your soul with Silver Thorn in its name, call it to rearguard, and at the end of the turn, put that back into soul. So it's kind of handy if you've got cards like Zelma in soul again. It's just such a key card. Well, Zelma is. Marichicha kind of like abuses the fact that at some point, thanks to all the power columns you can make with Pale Moon now, it's eventually going to hit at some point, and they are going to have to let it through. Yeah, so that's it for the grade 2s. Next up are my grade 3s. Now, 1 copy of Miracle Pop Eva. Now, the reason why I got 1 in, she isn't a Silver Thorn, but she can kind of help boost up upright line even higher. Her ability is when a Pale Moon rides on top of her, choose the Vanguard, and until the end of the turn, the Vanguard gets plus 10,000 and a new auto skill, Vanguard only. Choose up to 2 of your Pale Moon rearguards and put them into soul, which is the cost. When the Vanguard attacks, you select 2 units, put them into soul, and then you can call up to another. If you do, choose up to 2 Pale Moon units from your soul and call them separate rearguards. So it allows for more Zelma shenanigans, boosting upright line even higher. Just basically, it gets silly power columns. But at 1, either way, it's not going to do too much damage. Sometimes you can, you don't even need to ride her. If you lose them to damage, it's not that much of a problem. If you have to discard it for a perfect guard, not a problem. It's just there as a personal tech choice of mine. The other ability is when she attacks the Vanguard, you may soul charge 1, and she gains 1,000. So it's kind of also helping the fill up the soul for the other abilities, which is kind of nice. Next up, I run 3 of the original Lucio, just in case for new people, if you don't know what she does. She's 10k base power, grade 3, and she has the limit break ability of when you're on 4 damage, you can counterblast 3, and you can choose up to 1 grade 0, 1 grade 1, 1 grade 2, and 1 grade 3 Pale Moon from soul and call them to separate rearguards. And the other ability, so basically you can create a field from absolutely nothing. And then the other ability is the upright line ability. When one of your Pale Moon is placed on rearguard from soul, she gets plus 3,000. So if you call all 4 units from this, maybe even Zelma, creating like maybe even 5 swaps, so she gains 15,000. So that's kind of offsets the 10k, because then when you cross ride on next turn, hopefully she's 13. Well, Venus will be 13 anyway. And last but not least, the star of the deck and the mistress of the circus. I run 4 of probably the most broken card in set 15 in my personal opinion. Silver Thorn Dragon Empress Venus Lucio. Love the artwork. Can't really show it off too well on the camera, but she has the limit break ability of you counterblast 2 Silver Thorn cards, so it's in a special counterblast. Once you do that, you soul charge 2, choose up to 5 Pale Moon cards with the sum of their grades being 6 or less from soul, and call them separate rearguards. This ability can't be used for the rest of the turn. So basically, like previous Lucio, you can create a field from absolutely nothing. So you basically call out cards like Zelma, Irina, to kind of thin the deck. well, more so Arena, even Emil or Emily. So just abuse that fact. Cell swapping and deck thinning. It's gotten a lot more powerful, this set. It's a lot more concentrated. It's got what they wanted to do all along, in my personal opinion. Much like Beast Deities from set 13, it's kind of what Power Moon wanted to do all along. It's just more stable, more consistent. Yeah, so I have been testing it, and I've even had Upright Line gaining like 21. No, I think it gained. How much did it gain? Probably like 6 times a quarter from Soul, so it's like an 18k boost thanks to like cards like Eva. So yeah, so it can pretty much create overwhelming columns for your opponent to deal with, and that's even before like trigger boost. It's ridiculous how good this deck can actually be now. So I hope you enjoyed this deck. If you can share it, like, comment, subscribe. Even let me know if you've got a Power Moon deck and named it, just like mine. I've called it the Twisted Sister Circus. Yeah, so just let me know if you like the video, and get in touch. Yeah, so hope you liked it, guys. See you later. Bye.